r/ask Reddit. What's immoral but not necessarily illegal? Unplugging your friend's phone to charge your own when visiting their house. Fun fact, if you do this they have the right to kill you. One of my friends does it, so I unplugged it just enough that it doesn't charge but looks like it plugged in. And when her battery died it was like yeah, must be something up with my charger. Wahaha. Good, it's what they deserve. Those beauty pageant shows for children. It should be illegal. What if they include a song about not diddling kids? Something like do not diddle kids. It's no good diddling kids, so you wouldn't do it with anybody younger than my daughter. Not little kids. Go to be big, older than my wee wife. Older than my daughter. Making researchers pay to have their work published. Charging fees to anyone who wants to view the work. And not giving anything back to the researchers. Luckily, C-Hub allows you to jump the paywall and read the researcher's work for free, and all you need to do is plug in the website URL. Otherwise, just email the researcher and they'll send you a free copy because they don't pay for their research paper. And this is illegal but moral. Ad world. In Texas, it is illegal to have sex with animals. It is illegal to have sex with a dead human body. You can have sex with all the dead animals you want though. Sexidomy. It strikes me that condoms used to all be made of animal parts, so anyone using one was technically ducking a dead animal. Cutting in line. Elementary schoolers have agreed. High schoolers made this a petition. Middle schoolers have signed the petition. We got to cut a boys. Get him. Leaving meat or dairy on some random unrefrigerated shelf in the grocery store. Duck you. Generally, you can go to a grocery store, fill a cart with whatever you want, then just leave. Sucks, but certainly not against the law. I did it once. I was looking after 3 kids, not mine, and the 9-year-old wanted a Mars bar. No. Cherry Ripe. No. Snickers. No. I gave him a general idea that the only food that is going into this trolley is food for the house. No applies to anything else. So he tantrums. Literally ran away from me in the store. Found a Mars bar. Ripped it open. Took one bite and dropped it on the floor. Repeated it with a Snickers. When he reached for the Cherry Ripe I stopped. I'm not playing this kid's game. Took the trolley to the service desk and apologized. I have to leave, but I'm bringing it here so you can save the perishables. They'd seen the 9-year-old perform with the Mars and Snickers and understood. Hey, tantrum's name, we are going. And left the store with his 5-year brother and 7-year sister. He realized I was serious and followed me to the car. Home. Where's dinner? I got asked. Still in that trolley, though I do hope they got the frozen stuff back in their freezers. Still hadn't twigged, so what are we having? Nothing. Trolley. Remember? His brother and sister went nuts at him. So, name. Have we joined the dots? So anyway, I rang the supermarket. Did I need to pay for anything? Particularly the Mars bar, Snickers or Cherry Ripe that were half eaten? Apologize. That sort of thing. Manager was great. So, I had an idea. Next day, the manager came round, explained to Tantrum that the 3 chocolate bars had to be paid for or he will call the police. Tantrum almost literally shit himself. Went pale, so we got out his pocket money box and made him pay the manager for the chocolates. Never happened again. Edit. Thanks for the comments and the awards, and everyone got an update from me even if they disagreed with me. Gambling away the money your spouse set aside for your child's college. Pretty sure that's illegal as it qualifies as theft. Not if the money has been held in any kind of joint account. MLM schemes. My mum got sucked into Forever Living. It's pretty much an aloe vera cult. What is that? MLMs are multi-level marketing schemes. So basically you start selling their aloe vera products as a way to make extra money. So you use your social media to promote it. Then once you've started a following and you have a customer base, your friends start to think, oh hey, I can sell this too. Can you get me in? So then you recruit more people to join and sell these products, which then bumps up your commission level, as you take a percentage of the commission from those you recruited, on top of your original commission. Then the people you recruited start to recruit more people so you get more commission again. It's basically a legalized pyramid scheme. And who wants to buy a £30 bottle of shampoo? No one. Which is why the whole thing is a con. because you've already paid the £500 buy-in fee and starter kit, so now you have a load of expensive crap you can't sell because it's too expensive, and none of your friends will speak to you because you've done the same to them. Private equity firms that buy out existing and sustainable companies only to leverage them with as much debt as possible, bankrupt them, and sell off the assets, leaving all the employees out of work, communities unserved, and themselves with massive profit. Yay. But unlike most things on this list, this should be illegal. Charging hundreds of dollars for insulin, or for EpiPens, or the drug that literally will stop you dying in the middle of an opioid overdose. You know, opioids. Those drugs farm companies created an addiction epidemic around. Not returning your shopping carts to the corral, and leaving banana peels in them. Use masks and rubber gloves is the norm now. Making people pay to park at a hospital, so tacky. Or making people pay to park at the courthouse. This, yes, it was only $6 the night my grandma died, but ugh, it's not like I was there for a business meeting and hadn't the hospital already made enough off her for a week of life support. Paying someone below minutes wage and having them make it up with tips. Yeah, I worked a job through high school and some of college where I made $2.13 an hour, which is legal. If we didn't make enough in tips to meet minimum wage, they would yell at us and threaten to fire us because they didn't want to pay out extra. Some of my co-workers overreported their tips because they were afraid of losing their jobs and came out with less than minimum wage many nights. That's disgusting. If that happened in my country, UK, everyone would boycott the shit out of those restaurants. That being said, I don't doubt for a second that restaurants over here would do this if they were allowed. It's US lawmakers that are to blame. Insane hospital prices. No one knows how much they charge for stuff. For all we know, they could just be making up numbers until your bill reaches an insane amount. It should also be illegal for hospitals to hide concessional costs. It should be transparent so rates have to be competitive. President Trump signed this executive order to promote healthcare price transparency. I want to see Congress write an actual law, but it's a step in the right direction. Since the holidays are approaching, getting a dog or other pet as a surprise Christmas present for your child, only to give it away when you realize you're not equipped to care for it. Or deciding you don't want a pet anymore because you got pregnant and think a baby and pets at the same time is too much to handle, so they just leave the pets outside one day confused as to what they did wrong. Duck, my neighbors, managed to adopt one of their cats out so far. Watching the next episode in the series without your watching partner. I have been waiting months at this point. Sigh. Faking a pregnancy to trap a guy. Also having a sperm donor pay child support cause it's genetically his child. Wait, that can happen? There have been cases of minor boys being raped to end up having to pay child support when they hit 18. Our legal system is completely ducked up. Cannibalism is not illegal, at least in the US, if the person who you eat isn't murdered and in there will request to be eaten. Be right back. Updating my will. Let's just see how badly my relatives want their inheritance. If you want the inheritance, then eat my ass. Ooh, I know this one. My uncle has Down syndrome and attends a local developmental workshop where they are taught skills and placed in the community to work. It came out that his caseworker, female, was sexually abusing him in the bathrooms at work, and when police were involved it was discovered that, in our state at least, it couldn't be considered rape when the female is the aggressor. Other, minor, charges were filed, but this blew me away. Immoral? Oh duck yes. Illegal? Nope. Same for the entirety of the UK. The law in the UK states the perpetrator must penetrate the victim for it to be rape. UK comedy shows literally joke about male rape, while when Got, a TV show which torture, mutilation and gruesome death everywhere, had one female rape scene, everyone was up in arms. Men really are treated abysmally when it comes to sex and reproduction. Yeah, I was confused by that too. I was like, didn't they peel the skin off a living dude a few episodes ago? And I am pretty sure they were sexually torturing that other guy when they cut his dong off. I think difference was a character they liked and related to had been raped, so now they actually felt how wrong it was. Loaning money to desperate people at insane interest rates through payday loans. My mom was stuck in a payday loan cycle for basically all of my high school years. I honestly don't resent the people who own those places that much. You gotta do what you gotta do to survive in this miserable country. It's the politicians who allow that shit to be legal that really piss me off. They're the ones making the moral choice. My mom was stuck on payday loans for almost 20 years. It's so ducked up that they're legal. In the US, rural dialysis clinics can refuse to treat a patient for reasons unrelated to safety or health and force that person to travel long distances multiple times a week for care. For the unaware, not getting dialysis when you need it will kill you. It's cheaper to die. I mean, it's always cheaper to die. Watching hardcore pornography with the sound on public transit. Ho there, that's oddly specific. It's even worse when the bus driver is doing it. Private prison system. Because of this, the US has the highest incarceration rate in the entire world, significantly higher than Russia, which is the second highest country. Corporate lobbying. When I was a kid, around 8 or 9, we went to the mall to buy presents around Christmas time. There was a box where you could write to Santa what you want for Christmas. By this time I knew Santa wasn't real and decided to write a bunch of vulgar messages to Santa. I was with my sister and my cousin at the time, and they wrote a note saying that I wrote all the vulgar messages and then told my grandma. My grandma laughed and told me that the police would arrest me if they found out. I never liked crying in public as a kid, so I was trying my hardest not to cry. I wanted to go home so bad, but it seemed like they were trying to stay in the mall. I was so scared that when they went to get ice cream, I did not get any. As soon as we got in the car, police sirens went off somewhere and I just burst out crying. On the way home I could not stop crying. When we got home I hid under my grandma's bed until my dad picked me up. For a week after I felt guilty. Too long, didn't read, wrote vulgar messages to Santa and thought I was gonna get arrested. Oh man. This reminded me of a somewhat similar situation. I worked as the cow mascot at Chick-fil-A for a summer. One day a couple was carrying their kid past. The kid was clearly scared of me in costume. The parents brought the kid up to me and said, "If you aren't good while we're shopping, the cow will eat you." And they looked at me and said, "Right?" I shook my head no as hard as I could. Refusing to vaccinate your kids because you're one of those morons who think vaccines contain heavy metals, microchips, fetal DNA, and Satan's urine. Completely immoral, but sadly not illegal, yet. My mom is like that and it has really messed with my family. My brothers and I are constantly sick and we never really get over it. Taking an upper decker. The dreaded upper decker, a revenge tactic only to be used in response to the most egregious of acts. No real harm done except for the psychological effect. Use with caution. Being filthy rich and starting some foundation or the like and using it as a tax shelter. That's why they named them after themselves, because that's where the money goes. Age of consent is 16 where I am. Running the only healthcare system in a country as a business. Private healthcare is fine when it's there as an optional extra. Nobody should worry that an unexpected trip to the hospital will bankrupt them though. Apparently Halliburton can get away with causing the biggest environmental accident in American history. Edit. Okay, I screwed up, sorry, but thanks for the explanation of what happened. Asking money for false reasons. Drafting people to war. Scalping. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.